Good evening, and my topic for today is maybe simple and different question for everyone. What is peace? And I think each person has their own opinion, and I discovered the Immanuel Kant thought and emphasized First World War and Christmas Eve 1914. Immanuel Kant mentioned in his work Perpetual Peace that no peace settlement which Secretary reserves issues for a future war shall be considered valid. Peace signifies the end to all hostilities, and the adjective perpetual transforms that definition into suspicious looking pleonasm, because the adjective a treaty means a mere truce and postponement of hostilities, but not peace. We can consider perpetual peace as an ideal or even a utopia, I think. And it is written that perpetual peace is a state that should be approached, but not as one that can be attained. According to Kant, the main reason for peace settlement is to prevent future wars by negating existing causes and solving some na- nation's problem, for example. Moreover, each conflict party might take a tacit reservation, or reservation mentalis, of old pretensions and misunderstandings that can be realized in the future. That's why both parties don't have the power to continue fighting and wait for the first good opportunity to gain a superiority, fight back, and end that. Kant for all that is just political casualty, and it is beneath the dignity of a ruler. And on the picture, we see the President Wilson and the Dove of Peace, how he gave olive branch to Dove, and it means a foundation of League of Nations, and how that organization failed keeping the peace in the world, and it led to World War II. And I felt that people cannot feel peace and a sense of calm with the understanding in some moments. Maybe they continue to fight against each other and kill each other. For example, Christmas Truce is one of the strangest and storied moments from the Great War. It includes widespread unofficial ceasefires along the Western and Eastern Front of the First World War around Christmas 1914, and on the pictures we see the newspaper from Christmas um, World War One showing the temporary truce. And on the second picture we see the map showing the location of the 1914 Christmas truce during World War One between France, Great Britain, and German Empire. And to be honest, it was widespread across the whole front. Okay, race to the sea. That term describes reciprocal attempts by the Franco-British and German armies to envelop the northern flank of the opposing army through the provinces of Picardy, Artois, and Flanders, rather than an attempt to advance northwards to the sea. The race ended on the North Sea coast of Belgium around October 90s. The outflanking attempts had resulted in a number of encounter battles, but neither side was able to gain a decisive victory. And this is a small caricature mocking that attempts that snaking bodies of French commander Joffre and German Kaiser Wilhelm turned to the north after the Battle of Marne, shaping the race of sea. And on the right picture, you see the map and all battles were during that period, September to October 1914. And the first Battle of Ypres took place on the Western Front around River Ypres, uh, maybe at the end of the Race to the Sea. And warfare between mass armies equipped with the weapons of the Industrial Revolution, for example, machine guns and its later developments, proved to be indecisive because field fortifications naturalized many classes of offensive weapon, and that was easier to defend than to attack. The defensive firepower of artillery and machine guns dominated the battlefield, so that replaced casualties prolonged battles for weeks. And that was a small, really short video. Everyone can see it. I've attached the link to that, and everyone has a possibility to feel that atmosphere of Christmas Eve 1914 and understand what English and German soldiers felt on that time. And the men laid their guns among snowflakes to feel peace for a few moments and take a break from trench life. Mostly French, German, and British soldiers crossed trenches to share their seasonal greetings. In some areas, men from both sides took a risk and ventured into a barbed wire field or no man's land that separates the armies on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to have handshakes, kind words to each other. The soldiers exchanged tobacco, wine, and some souvenirs. There were joint burial ceremonies and carolings. One British soldier, rifleman named J. Reading, wrote a letter to his wife and mentioned, "I shook hands with some of them, and they gave us cigarettes and cigars. We didn't fire that day, and I thought it was a real dream." And on the pictures, we see how British and German troops meeting in no man's land during the unofficial truce, and how soldiers decorated the Christmas tree on neutral territory. British troops serving on the Western Front received Princess Mary special boxes from royal family. There were their Christmas present. Metal cases engraved with an outline of the princess and filled with chocolates, sweets, cigarettes, and tobacco. Great efforts were made to distribute the gift, honestly, in time for Christmas, and huge demands were made on an already stretched postal service. There we see a photo of that box and how British soldier opens it. Games of football even broke out. The only result recorded was 3-2 by the Germans, quoted in several soldiers' letters, and there we see the picture how soldiers playing soccer in no man's land a year after the Christmas truce in 1914. Other diaries and letters describe German soldiers using candles to light Christmas trees around their trenches. One German infantryman described how a British soldier set up a makeshift barber shop, charging Germans a few cigarettes each for a haircut. Other accounts describe vivid scenes of men helping enemy soldiers collect their debt or because there was plenty. And we see the one small drawing that describes how they done share cuts. Um, yeah, and there are so original drawings that describe peace and Christmas Eve 1914. For example, the first one, peace on earth and goodwill to all 9 men, and the second one, how British and German soldiers meet in no man's land. And what about symbols? Mm, However, Christmas truce wasn't observed on on other front sectors, and many commodores were strongly opposed to that and worried fraternization could undermine fighting spirit. After 1914, the high commanders tried to prevent any truces and forced units to rotate and fire barrages. Therefore, it is now considered a symbolic moment of peace and humanity against the dramatic events of history. People honored the idea live and let live system and took pauses in fighting to repair the trenches, exchange cigarettes, food, and pick up wounded and fallen soldiers. And for example, the poppy is the enduring symbol of remembrance of the First World War. It is strongly linked with Armistice Day, November the 11th, but the poppy origin as a popular symbol of remembrance lies in the landscapes of the First World War. Poppies were a common sight, especially on the Western Front, because there were many of them. And moreover, those are often associated with the concept of peace and pacifism. You see them in political cartoons, on banners, and some events promoting peace. Um, yeah, and in conclusion, since perpetual peace is something that cannot be achieved because of the nature of human beings, I think we can only strive for it and do everything that depends on us and believe in our power. History shows the desire of people to reach peace is stronger than orders of commanders, dramatic and horrible events. For instance, the First World War, when people understood how easy it is to lose peace and humanity and to regain it and take it back. Thank you for your attendance.